Welcome to today's episode of Pixelvalve. Today is the first Pixelvalve episode that I've done in a long time, and it's not really an episode, it's more of an update as to where I've been, why I haven't been making any videos, and what's going on. Well, the last place I left the Pixelvalve was with this one. It's the Helios 44-2, and it's the second version of the adapter. Now, as you can see there, I'm wiggling it a little bit. You can see that there's a little bit of play. Now, the adapter works. This one's great. It does work, but as you can see, it is a little bit loose, so it needs to have tolerance tightening there. It needs a little bit of work, and that's exactly what I did with this one, which is exactly the same, Helios 44-2, but it has an updated part. And we have some text, and there you go. So the Helios is ready, it's finished, it works, it's really nice. It takes a good picture, it's sturdy, it's strong, and it's a joy to play with. Now that's come a long way from this one, which was the first prototype. Look how clunky that looks. It does the job, it works, but it's a bit ugly, it's a bit, you know, what you'd expect. So it's come a long way. I haven't just done nothing with the camera lenses since you last saw me. Now this is a Pancolar. It's the Zebra Pancolar, and it's the one I repaired on the channel. Now, it has a Pixelvalve adapter now. Now, this is just a prototype adapter that's on here at the moment. It was made from a reject part that I printed out on my home consumer printer, but it serves a purpose. It helps me design the actual back before production, and it's been complete, it's ready. So we have a Pancolar lens adapter, it's ready, and it just needs to be manufactured and then tested. So I'll have to receive it and test it and make sure everything is 100% okay, and then it'll be officially ready. It'll be ready to purchase.
The Helios 44-2, an iconic lens with a reputation for dreamy bokeh. In this conceptual shot of a box of rusty keys, the lens delivers striking sharpness and texture. The idea? The answer to unlocking the padlock lies outside the box, inviting us to think differently. Thanks to the Pixelvalve adapter, the Helios achieves perfect focus, preserving every detail. Swirly bokeh is the Helios's signature. While this quick shot of a statue wasn't taken in ideal conditions, you can still see that distinct swirl even on a crop frame camera. Here, the Helios transforms a simple glittery background into playful light effects. It's a lens that encourages creativity, made even more versatile with the Pixelvalve adapter. The Pancolar lens is all about sharpness and rich color. This infinity shot captures every detail, from the rooftops to the coastline, showcasing its clarity and precision. Indoors, the Pancolar's wide f1.8 aperture excels. This shot of Toby jugs highlights its depth of field, drawing your eye naturally to the center. Even in poor lighting, the Pancolar produces rich contrast and warm tones, bringing a sense of depth to every frame. And wide open, the Pancolar creates stunning bokeh, perfect for adding atmosphere to any scene.
Now, this is where the tricky part comes in. You see, I started off casting these things out of casting resin and a silicone mold, and then I moved on to printing them on a 3D printer, a resin printer. which produced satisfactory results for viability testing. It's just that it wasn't ideal. So the next step was for me to move on to professional engineering grade 3D printing, which is what this is. This is a nylon print. The machine that this is printed on costs about £100,000. So that's a massive difference compared to your sort of average £200 3D printing consumer grade 3D printer. Now, you can do them at home, but the trouble is the tolerances get really whacked. Now, with everything engineering, there's a tolerance, a plus and a minus, a deviation which can be allowed. Now, the trouble is with that deviation, with consumer grade printing, the deviation is bigger. So you will get problems like this, where things are too loose or too tight, or perhaps things that aren't circular, more like an oval shape. Now, that's really difficult to compensate for with a consumer grade printer, because it's set up for models and props and ornaments and things like that. That's really where the consumer grade printing is geared towards. So when I send these things off to be 3D printed professionally in a manufacturing situation on printers that are worth £100,000 compared to £200, then there's a massive difference. Now, the tolerance on this particular one here, this Helios, is about 0.2 or 0.4 millimeters. And that doesn't sound like much at all, does it? But the difference it makes is huge. Now, the company I was using to produce these also had a print-on-demand service, which allowed me to upload, me as the designer, to upload the parts onto their website, where it could be connected to my own website, and somebody could just simply order them from my website via the manufacturing company, and they would post them out directly to you. Now, that was great for many reasons. I didn't take any profit from that, because I was just simply supplying the model and holding the rights for them. Now, the manufacturing company would need to post these items, they'd need to produce them, so there was a charge for that, and it was, I felt, a reasonable charge, and I did sell some. Now, the thing is with that company, I was using a company called Shapeways, which was quite a famous company. It's been going for a long time, and it's just sod's law, really, that in July this year I heard the news that they've gone bankrupt. Now, just as I got the Helios lens working, just as I'd got the Helios lens ready, just as I'd set up a website, just as I'd got all these things together and almost there, and that happened. It's just one of those things. These things do happen, and it, relying on another company, relying on somebody else is just, that's how it is. There are other companies that do similar things, but nothing as good as Shapeways. Nothing I felt as convenient for the designer as Shapeways. So unfortunately, there hasn't been much development on the Pixelvalve adapter since then. Now, I'm looking into other ways of doing this, perhaps by using local engineering firms, perhaps ordering a stock for myself and then sending them out. There's various ways around it. Now, the thing I really liked about Shapeways is that I could take an order from somewhere dangerous like Russia, where I couldn't post from here to Russia. But I could easily upload the file, I could easily get the company in Russia to print out the Pixelvalve adapter and deliver it within the same country. So being digital, the system can bypass a lot of restrictions. It could it could avoid customs charges, it could avoid customs delays, it could avoid long postage times across the world. And it just makes things super fast and super convenient. Of course, I could still do something like that manually. It's just a little bit more difficult and needs a bit more working out. But there are companies starting up all the time, and this probably will be available again in the future. Now, I'm going to most likely probably put some of these things back on my eBay account just to make them available. I've got a lot of stock and things that are over from development, so I'll occasionally be getting rid of things like lenses that weren't suitable for designing custom adapters, lenses that perhaps have been mangled through dismantling and so on, and some lenses which are just completely fine and just need thinning out, because the thing is with collecting lenses is that it accumulates a lot quickly, and I can turn around and end up with tons of lenses that I'm not using, and if I store them incorrectly, they can get that dreaded fungus on the lens. So it's better to sell them on and move them on, I think, than keep them lying around. Now, you haven't heard from me in a long time. I've been doing a lot of other things, and I just wanted to update you to let you know that I'm still working on these lenses. I'm still doing these things. I'm still actively sort of researching ways to supply these to you, and at some point they will be available. The next step is always around the corner. So anyway, sorry that you haven't heard any sooner than this. I suppose I could have updated you at any time after June, July, once I heard the news. Now, as soon as I heard the news that Shapeways was going bankrupt, I removed my models from their site, because the thing with bankruptcy is that the company gets broken down, and who knows where my files would have ended up, where they'd have gone, and there are IP issues, so that's why they're not available on that site anymore. The site, strangely enough, is still up. I mean, if you go to Shapeways now, you'll find that the site does exist. It is there, and it looks like all is well. But if you do a Google search, you'll find that it has indeed filed for bankruptcy. So there are rumours that they've restarted the company in a different place. So I'll be looking into that. And there are, of course, other 3D companies. So I'll be looking into that too. At some point they will be available. Obviously, if you are really desperate and you want them now, then I might be able to get a quick one out to you. I might be able to do something for you. Obviously, they do cost money to produce by a manufacturer like that. I think they're fairly reasonable. I mean, for about £36 you could have one delivered, definitely, which is still within that range of affordability. I think for something like the Pancolar, which is £100 lens, £150 lens, a £50 adapter, Pixelvalve adapter, isn't really that expensive when you consider something like maybe K&F concept lens adapters, which are in that kind of ballpark, and realistically they don't work. Mine do. So you really are getting something value for money with a Pixelvalve adapter, because they actually work, while they don't use a glass element, and none of the other adapters out there, unless they have a glass adapter, glass lens, work. And obviously there's a massive drawback with those glass lens adapters. There's a lot of drawbacks with them. But the Pixelvalve adapter, you're getting the actual genuine M42 experience out of the lens, the original experience. Now, it's unfortunate for the Nikon user, the Nikon F user. Nikon F, it's at the end of its life, but I still think that to get rid of your camera kit worth thousands of pounds just because you want to use a vintage lens or because you want to move on to the next adapter mount is not cost effective. So I think, you know, around about £35, £36, even £40 for a lens adapter makes sense for the right user, because some of these vintage lenses, they're absolutely amazing. Some of them, you know, the Flectagon, the Pancolar, they're as sharp as a brand new lens. They have character. And I know you can buy the TT Artisans and things like that, but, you know, really, these old lenses, there's no comparison still. I mean, you can still tell the difference between a TT Artisan version of your lens and the real thing. So, anyway, that's where we are. That's what's happening. And I'm probably going to start a new series of Pixelvalve in the next few months, maybe. So stay tuned. There's always going to be a video. And sorry for the delay. Thanks for watching.